So we'll have a seat at the front of the mat. We're gonna tune in a little bit. So connect your sit bones down to your mat and to the floor and to the earth beneath that. And just allow your spine to find its natural straight alignment. Let your shoulders relax. Relax your jaw. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. And just pause here and really feel into your body. So we do this every class, but today I want you to be very, very tuned in to what you're feeling. We're going to have an introspective practice today. And you need to stay present with the sensations in your body. So reacquaint yourself with everything inside of you right now. And then let's start a nice, deep, slow Ujjayi breath in and out through the nose, slightly restricting the opening in the throat so that it makes kind of the sound that an ocean wave would make. Notice how your thoughts are moving in your mind, not so much what you're thinking about, but how the thoughts are moving. So the speed of the thoughts, the quality of the thoughts. Notice any emotions that you might be feeling, and that might even be an absence of emotions. Notice what your energy feels like. How alive do you feel right now? And so bringing palms together in front of the heart, we pause to set our intention for our practice. Whatever your personal intention is correct for you. There is no wrong way to do that. If it feels appropriate, I would love for you to add to your own intention to be very intimately connected to your inner being today. We're going to be really paying attention to the inside. And that's both physically as well as mentally, emotionally, and energetically. So just really connecting deeply to yourself today. Once you've formed your own intention and perhaps added that to it, take another deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. We're going to start a little bit differently today for our vinyasa practice. I'm going to have you start in a child's pose. Again, very inward turning position. So at this time of year, just after the winter solstice and before the new year begins, it's very helpful to reflect on all of the lessons that we've learned from good and or bad experiences. There's always a lesson. We can pay attention to what's worked and what hasn't worked. We can learn from everything and everyone. Every experience, every person can be a teacher. So as you're curled up in your sweet little child's pose, give yourself the gift of self-reflection in today's practice. We're going to go ahead and scoot forward into Sphinx and lengthen the spine out. So you guys know that in order to get the spine to lengthen, you have to relax the glutes. So let your buns be soft. It's helpful to have the big toes touching each other and the heels falling away from each other. The shoulders are down the back, and we're literally pulling the heart forward with the forearms. And then take your first downward facing dog and take some time to kind of ease into it. Getting the hands set just right. Maybe pedaling the feet a little bit, allowing the shoulders to open. And then I want you to find stillness in your downward facing dog. It's in stillness that we have the capacity to turn inward. Go ahead and walk your feet forward, keeping your knees bent. Take a few breaths, just lengthening in your ragdoll, paying particular attention to a super relaxed neck. It's a nice time to check back in with that beautiful Ujjayi breath. I would love for you to keep that constant throughout today's practice, if possible. On your next inhale, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Keep your arms lifted, lift your heart, maybe even lift your gaze. Still doing that beautiful Ujjayi breath. On your next exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Fingertips down, connect yourself down to the earth. And then inhale and look up halfway, lengthen. And then back down. We're gonna step back with the right foot. So we have a left foot forward lunge today. Just taking the opportunity to allow the spine to lengthen. And the hips to separate. Beginning to wake the body up. So what we'll be doing today is really holding our poses for quite a long time so that you have the opportunity to watch the changes occur moment by moment, breath by breath in every pose. Nothing technically challenging. However, you may find holding poses for a long time physically challenging, and that's why your breath is so incredibly valuable. Let's go ahead and drop the right knee down. Pardon me. Raise your arms up and overhead. Tilt the pelvis back, let your hips move forward. So in this first little warm-up series, really taking the opportunity to get yourself into that mode of constant inner attention, interoception, what's happening inside the body, inside the mind, inside the heart, moment by moment, undivided attention to yourself. And then bring the hands down. Let's go ahead and extend the left leg. Pardon me. And then from here, we're simply going to step back. I'd like you to do the vinyasa of your choice. The whole idea is complete mindfulness with your movements and your breath. Take a big step forward with your right foot. Hold your lunge. We'll drop the right knee down. Let the arms raise up and overhead. Being mindful of tilting the pelvis back and allowing the hips to move forward. So we're constantly coming back to the sensation of the front of the left hip, monitoring the tightening at the base of the left glute, making sure the shoulders are staying away from the ears, that's physically, and then we're monitoring our breath so that we have that even ujjayi breath. We're monitoring any thoughts or feelings we have around the practice. We're monitoring our energy. Hands come to the mat on either side of the right foot. Extend your right leg. Flex the ankle and toes if you can. And continue paying attention to every tiny nuance of your practice today. Step forward to a standing forward bend. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, palms together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, back down. Step back with your right foot. Please remember, modify anything that you need to. So even though we might be challenging ourselves, we don't want to hurt ourselves. You're in charge of you, of course. But here we go. Keep your breath moving and be mindful moment by moment. Arms are up and overhead for a high lunge. Spin your right heel flat, warrior two. Stay present with your breathing. Reverse your warrior. Right hand on the right thigh, left arm up and over. Don't allow your mind to flee. Allow your breath to help you. Come back up, straighten your left leg, lengthen your spine, find triangle pose. Come back up, keeping your left leg straight. Reverse this, right hand on the right thigh, left arm up and over. Keeping that left leg straight. So you're noticing where you feel sensation. how that sensation changes moment by moment as the body releases, as the breath continues its beautiful ujjayi pattern. You notice how the thoughts fluctuate. You notice how your mind tries to tell you, we can't hold it, and how that's a lie. Take one more breath here. We come back into our warrior two, bend your left knee. Swivel onto your right toes, arms up and overhead. Hands to the mat, vinyasa of your choice. Remember, you may always rest in child's pose if you need to. Whatever you're doing, simply bring that same level of mindfulness. And now we step forward with the right foot. Again, modify anytime that you need to. Otherwise, here we go. Introspection, interoception. Arms are up and overhead. Pelvis is tilting. Left heel spins flat, warrior two. Left hand on left thigh, reverse your warrior. Come back up and straighten your right leg. Lengthen your spine and find your triangle pose. Stay present, stay with it. Don't allow your mind, your ego, to try and lure you away from impeccable attention to you. Come all the way back up, keeping your right leg straight, bringing your left hand to your left thigh and reversing this. Right leg stays straight. Come back up, bend the right knee, warrior two. Swivel onto the left toes. Arms are up and overhead. Bring your hands down. Take the vinyasa of your choice. Mindfulness. Steady breath. Steady attention. You can either walk or jump your feet forward to a standing forward bend. And then inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your palms together. Pause for a moment here, check in with yourself. We're going to balance in Garudasana, eagle pose. Just a reminder, if it's one of those days, and we all have those days, as we come into this pose, you can use toes of the opposite foot as a kickstand. You're also welcome to lean against a wall. This is about hugging our energy in towards the midline, again, turning inward. We're going to be standing on the left leg first. So you'll bend your left knee a little bit, take the right thigh tightly over the left. Remember, if you want to slide your toes all the way down, you may. And then the left arm will be underneath the right arm. If you can, palms are touching. The idea is to find a relatively vertical spine. Hug your thighs towards each other. Hug your forearms and your hands towards each other. Hug all of your muscles in towards the midline of the body, so everything moves inward. Unwind. Both feet on the ground, arms are relaxed. And then we transition to the right foot. You'll bend your right knee slightly. Take the left thigh over the right. Take right arm underneath the left. And again, we're going to hug everything in towards the midline. Unwind. Both feet on the ground, arms by sides. Turn sideways on your mat and take a nice wide side step, toes pointing directly forward. We're going to hinge at our hips. Now, as you move into this wide angled forward bend, you can either grab the elbows and hang, you can have your hands on the floor, or you're welcome to grab the big toes to give yourself a little bit of extra force as far as pulling the head towards the ground. Keep it comfortable and happy. We're here, taking time to turn inward. Listen to your breath. Stay present with the sensations in your body. Release your hands wherever they are and walk them forward just enough that your hands are directly under your shoulders with your back flat and your hips aligned between the heels. So in other words, it's just a nice flat back. I want you to slide your right hand towards the center and begin to open your chest towards the left. Left hand reaching for the ceiling if that works for you. I'm going to modify because of my shoulder. I'm going to put my left hand at my waist. But you're kind of trying to just rotate up. It's a variation on a revolved triangle. And then hold and breathe. Left hand is going to come down where the right hand was. Spine is lengthened and we rotate, taking right hand towards the ceiling. Right hand comes back down. Walk your hands back onto your mat. Toe heel your feet together. All the way together. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Return to the front of the mat. Make sure that your feet are touching, big toes touching. Inhale, reach up. Look at your hands if you can, and then bend your knees, poking the tailbone back, squeezing your knees together, lifting your heart for Utkatasana. Pay attention to your breath, pay attention to your body. On your next exhale, fold all the way forward, standing forward bend. Inhale, look up, and exhale back down. You may walk or jump back to flow through your vinyasa. Connect to your breath. Connect to the physical sensations. Be mindful of thoughts and emotions. And then drop down to your hands and knees. So we're going to be moving into threading the needle, and I'm going to give you 3 phases of it. Please do however much or little feels appropriate to you. We're going to begin on the left side. So I want you to inhale your left arm up, and then exhale and scoop it underneath you, keeping your right hand where it is, slightly rolling into that left shoulder blade. This is a great place to stay. If you would like, you can make it a little twistier and take your right hand to the ceiling. That's phase 2, also a great place to stay. If you would like to go a little deeper, you can extend your right leg out to the right and let your left hand grab something, keeping right foot totally flat, and then taking right hand up again. What this does is affords you the opportunity to open the heart a little more. You choose what's best for you, and then notice your breath and notice your sensations. Come on out of that. Hands and knees. Remember, whatever you choose is, of course, perfect for you. Let's do the right side. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, scoop it underneath. Pause for a moment, just using your left hand where it is to kind of roll into that right shoulder blade. Decide if you want to stay here. If you prefer, you can just take that left hand up towards the ceiling. And then if you want to deepen that, purely optional, left leg extends like a kickstand, foot is flat. And you can roll open a little more. Come back out onto hands and knees. Take a moment, wag the tail if you like. And then we're just gonna end up here with Anahata, heart opening pose, also known as melting heart. Remember to be mindful of your shoulders, but if you can, keep your thighs vertical, hips over your knees, extend your arms in front of you, and allow your chest truly to melt towards the ground. Come on out of that. Give yourself a little tail wag. And then transition for your last vinyasa. Continue to keep that inner gaze. And finally, we'll walk your feet forward. Have a seat in Dandasana. We'll just stay in Dandasana for a couple of breaths because ideally you've been using this same level of introspection, also known as interoception. So rather than just doing it here in Dandasana, hopefully you've been doing it through your entire practice. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to actually keep the hands right by the back side and allow the soles of the feet to come together. Wherever they land is perfect. You don't have to scoot closer or pull them in. Keep your spine straight and just press the knees out to the side and down. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. And from here, we're going to take the legs into that nice wide V. Make sure you're on your sit bones, allowing them to connect down. Spine is straight. Legs are active with the toes pointing up. You may have your hands behind you to help you in this pose. You may have them in front of you, or just like when we were standing and doing a wide leg forward bend, you're also welcome to grab your feet or legs. You choose, but be mindful of not rounding the back. You want to keep it lengthened. Stay present with every breath, every sensation, every thought and emotion and energetic fluctuation. Two more breaths. When we come on up from that, you can use your hands to help your legs together. Give them a good wiggle. And then we're just going to go ahead and roll down onto our backs, hug the knees in, rock side to side. And then just a nice traditional figure four stretch, but we're beginning on the left side. So I'd like you to cross your left ankle over your right knee, flex the ankle, and then reach through and either grab the back of the right thigh or the front of the right shin and pull your right knee towards you. You should feel this in your left glute. Notice how the sensation changes breath by breath. Notice if your mind tries to wander or if you're able to stay present. We're going to keep the left ankle crossed just like it is. Put your right foot back on the mat and then move the right foot to the right of your mat. In other words, outside or off the mat. Gently, mindfully allow the legs to drop to the left. So if this is too much with your left foot on your right knee, you can take it off and just allow that right knee to drop inward. You should be feeling this subtly on the outer right thigh, maybe a little bit on the top. Stay present. Turn inward. And then simply hug both knees into your chest. Feel free to rock side to side if you like. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now we're crossing the right ankle over the left knee. Flex your right ankle. Reach through, either grabbing the back of the left thigh or the front of the left shin, and beginning to pull the left knee in towards the chest. We're going to keep the right ankle crossed. Pardon me, put the left foot back down and then move it outside the left side of the mat and allow your legs to drop to the right. If it's too much, having right foot on top of left knee, you can take it off. Hug both knees into your chest and rock side to side. Keep your left knee hugged into your chest. Extend your right leg all the way onto the ground. Transition this into a twist, left arm opening out. Please feel free to modify and bend both knees if that's better for your body. Come back up, hugging left knee in, and then bringing right knee up to meet it. Keeping right knee hugged in, extending left leg out, and transitioning into a twist to the left, letting the right arm open out to the right. Again, please feel free to bend both knees. On your next inhale, come back up, hug the right knee in and then the left knee as well. If it's okay with your neck and shoulders, my suggested inversion today is Halasana plow pose with the legs all the way up and overhead. It's very turning inward posture. If that doesn't work for you though, bridge pose is absolutely acceptable, or even just sticking your legs up the wall if that's better for you. Otherwise, hips are in hands unless or until the feet hit the floor. If your feet do hit the floor, then you can release your hands. But if your legs aren't on the floor yet, keep your hips in your hands. Slowly, slowly come on out of whatever inversion you were in. Hug your knees, rock side to side. Place your feet on the mat with your ankles and knees together. As you exhale, allow the legs to drop open. As you inhale, bring the knees together again. Do it again. And this third time that you let the knees drop open on an exhale, leave them there. Stay present in your skin and your mind and with your breath. Because on your next inhale, I'd like you to press your low back into the mat. You're effectively tilting your pelvis back, lengthening your spine. Next time you exhale, release that. Begin to extend your legs. Begin to bring the hands down below shoulder height, palms facing up. Close your eyes. Soften your face. Your Shavasana today is obviously just an extension of your entire practice. This is simply another yoga pose where we stay completely present and tuned in to the teeny tiny changes in the body, like the muscles relaxing. We allow the breath to do its own thing now. So we do let go of control of the breath, but we continue to watch it and monitor it. We continue to watch and witness and observe our thoughts and our emotions and the way the energy flows, and we just stay with it. We just stay with ourselves. These inner observances are so crucial for our continued growth in life. Even though we all share this path of yoga, our inner path is ours and ours alone. None of us experience a pose the same way. None of us experiences life the same way. We each have different lessons that we work towards in our lifetime. And this common path that we travel, yoga, gives us each the individual tools to look at our own personal lessons and gifts and challenges. So today, continue to maintain that steady inner gaze. Don't be distracted by thoughts. Simply be aware of them. Don't be distracted by sensations. Simply be aware of them and stay present. If your mind wanders, bring it back. You are worth your own undivided attention. Slowly begin to bring a little bit of movement back to the extremities. Begin to deepen your breath. When you're ready, take that deeper inhale, spreading the fingers and toes. Exhale with a soft sigh as you relax them. Deeper breath in as you stretch and extend and exhale and relax. Bend your knees, hugging them in if that feels good to you. And then roll to your right side and please stay on your right side for at least a full inhale and exhale. And then as you're ready, you can use your left hand in front of your chest to press yourself up into sitting. As you come to your seated position, allow your spine to find that same comfortable, erect alignment. So if it feels comfortable for you, I would like for you to touch the tip of your ring finger to the tip of your thumb on your left hand and allow that to be palm up. And I'd like you to use your right hand to do a Chandrabedana, which is an inhale through the left nostril and an exhale through the right, every single time. So when you're inhaling, you'll use your right thumb to block your right nostril. That way you can inhale through the left. And when you're exhaling, ideally you use the ring and pinky finger to block your left nostril so you can breathe out through the right. So every single breath, you're breathing in left side and breathing out right side. Off you go. As you finish out the breath you're on, allow your right hand to rest palm up. And if it feels okay on the right hand, circle the index finger and the thumb. And I'd like you to sit like this for just a couple of moments. So the idea here is that you have used this entire practice to turn inward. You set your intention at the beginning of practice. Now, and for the next couple of days, I would love for you to work on an intention for the coming year. It's very, very different than resolutions. Intentions are quite powerful. And on Wednesday, we will be working toward creating energy towards those intentions. In Sanskrit, the word is sankalpa. It means a sacred vow. So your intention is a little stronger and more binding. than a resolution. So we are able to find those things in meditation. We'll sit quietly for a few moments with your left hand, ring finger and thumb tip touching, palm up, because this heightens your intuition. And right hand, index finger touching thumb, palm up, because this is showing that you are open to receive knowledge and that your knowledge comes from something much larger than you. You're opening yourself up to a higher power, a higher consciousness. Very slowly, bring your palms together in front of your heart. This is Anjali Mudra. With your palms pressed together in front of your heart, take a moment in gratitude, always gratitude. Gratitude that you have the ability to turn inward and examine yourself. Self-examination, self-reflection. In yoga, svadhyaya, study of the self. So we use this practice to know ourselves more deeply, to remind ourselves that we are not separate from each other or that which created us. We are not separate. That's yoga, that's union. Take a really deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Palms together at the forehead as a reminder to stay present, to always be present. Palms together at the lips. This is a reminder to speak our truth. Palms together at the heart, reminding ourselves how important it is to keep the heart open for ourselves, for others, for the connection to our Creator, so that we can always be kind and compassionate and loving. Thank you for joining me this morning. Namaste.